Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. This is the PHP version 11 basically. So one of the person told that yeah, PHP basically, if anything basically gets creates basically, right? Without any reason basically anybody creates. Then he told that basically no, basically I don't think basically without any need, without any reason basically anybody creates anything basically. So here the question is, why that new version basically got created? Then one of the person told that the new human needs basically have to be created. That's why basically we created that new city basically, cities. So one of the person told that new version basically got introduced into the market. Thousands of cities basically got created. Sorry, hundreds of cities basically. That has given as a new version basically. Version basically is new. Version basically is a word of the computer industry. That is the software industry basically. But in construction industry, it's not like that. They basically don't spell that basically a version. That basically they don't spell like that. They basically say new city and the city name and the cities and the new versions basically. So one of the person told that the person who basically approves the cities, approves the areas, they 100% might be knowing, na, basically. This city basically is getting created. That is basically on the base of PHP software. They might be knowing this everything basically. Few people basically who say that basically we want to know everything, they will at least basically they will do the inquiry of this basically, that this land basically is going to create new 100 city basically, that is connecting to which area, that is the PHP software basically, right? Otherwise basically the how they basically signs the document basically that this is the new city basically which is getting created, or they might be possible that basically because it's very tough basically, it's not so easy to give the approval of the 100 city basically. It's not, it's very dangerous basically, I'm telling you basically. To give the approval of 100 city basically, it is going to affect to not only to the entire world basically, it will affect to the entire universe. Why? Because PHP is giving the power, PHP is getting power from that 35,000 planets basically. But universe group basically are very smart basically, they know that basically we have to keep earth planet creation basically separately only, because they never basically can track that basically where is this 35,000 planets basically, that from these 35,000 planets basically the PHP is getting the power, that they will never able to track. That's why basically they keeps their earth planet creation totally separately, checks everything, and they basically might be trusting people also basically, and might not be trusting. Mostly basically nowadays basically they trust the people basically, but on the base of trust basically, you know basically what happens. Because few people says that when this software basically was not created only, before that basically the user controls was created, because software equal to what basically set of user controls. This user control basically was sent to the universe group basically without testing by the or planet department basically. That is basically the root department basically, and I am 100% sure basically who created this everything user control, they are basically the nuclear power departments basically, they are basically directly connected with the nuclear power departments. So you can just imagine basically if anything new version basically gets creates, Before that, basically lots of process basically. That's why basically the people celebrate the new version basically. When basically the new version comes basically into the market of the software basically, they basically celebrate. Why? Because see the hard work basically. After that basically the human needs are also basically going to create from that 100 city basically. So one of the person told that keep cool basically. So one of the person told that yeah, you basically your American group basically has not observed this basically. This thing, this video basically which you are uploading, that American department basically has not observed. Then American department told that अरे भाई ये तो he is basically from Indian department basically. Why basically we should basically aware about that. That's basically Indian group basically. That is Indian administration group basically. They have to take care of everything basically. So one of the Pakistani basically came into the picture. Hey, Sunil, basically you leave Indian group basically, you join basically Pakistani group basically, because Indian group basically never take care of their people basically. That is truth basically. That's why basically the Pakistan separated from India basically. Up to that level basically they told. So they might be correct also basically. Jinnah basically separated himself. Jinnah and Nehru basically separated. So one of the person told that Nehru group basically don't understand the people basically. They only know basically they are correct. Rest of people basically are bloody fools. And that is the base of India basically. That is the base of Indian administration creation basically. That is Indian creation base basically. Like this basically the India got created. So that's why basically you will never get the chance basically in India. Why? Because the base is like that basically. Because they don't take care of the people basically. And they basically blocks the videos basically. Whoever basically go against India basically, they basically blocks the video basically. Just now basically I have basically raised against India. So they 100% will say that अरे भाई इसका वीडियो भाई देखना भाई कोई देख ना ले नहीं तो इंडिया की बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. So one of the person told that यार basically this is the video basically. So here basically the business department also comes into the picture of the PHP, because that 100 city which is created, that is the PHP property. So the legally basically the PHP business administration department, that is the MBA department basically. Here basically India basically it's a MBA basically, Master in Business Administration department basically. Their base of the business basically comes into the picture. So whenever basically you are doing business into particular city, basically you should know basically what is that city basically created from, how that city is created, what is the base of that city basically. So here that is the 100 city. So the MBA department basically, MBA basically group basically don't say that basic by 100 cities this is PHP VHP. They basically don't teach the MBA books basically like this. They basically have their concept creation basically. The people who created the MBA book basically, they have their concept creation basically. Because city keeps on creating. Currently it's PHP, it might be Microsoft, it can be Python, it can be mainframe, it can be anything basically. So they basically creates in global way basically. So the MBA books basically are created on the base of globally basically. That they have to do the business basically of the city. And the base is this 100 city, and this 100 city is basically this 100 cities is PHP new version basically. Like this basically PHP new version, Microsoft new version, Java new version. This everything basically connects like this only basically. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this.